you understand more about how your values play out in actuality and in practice, those lights get slightly brighter further still. That's how I maybe think about this, because finding your true self often begins with feeling lost because our false self, the old version of ourself, is built from roles, expectations, and possessions. And they tend to crumble after major life changes or change of career or big spiritual enlightenment or whatever it might feel. So it's going to force us to shed the inauthenticity and reconnect with our genuine values. But in that process, that's where the void is, in my mind.
Yeah.
It's going to help you feel lost. And you've got to find the ways to get back onto your true self.
Do you have any moments in your life where you feel like you've come out the other side of something and have fallen into that void?
What do you mean by fallen into the void?
So you've come to some sort of epiphany, or you say you've been traveling, you've come back, and you feel like you've done some sort of healing when you were away, and you've come back, and then you feel slightly directionless, slightly, I don't know. Anything like that? Does anything come to mind? You might not have.
I've had similar mindsets. I think it's been very similar to what I've been going through this last few years or year with the current role I'm in. So obviously I've just decided to leave my job, but I've only got a few shifts left.
Excited.
I'm petrified in a lot of ways, to be honest, but I'm very excited. And that felt like I had to lose myself a little bit. You know, I had to step into the void because it's so unknown. You know, I'm stepping into the complete and utter unknown in that regard, but it's going to allow me to flourish in other ways. That's maybe the best way I can describe that, is I am stepping into the void of just pure unknown. It's a major life shift, but I don't think there's been, and all the healing that's come with it. So now I'm curious about how this new sort of version, authentic version of Connor, or more authentic version of Connor, is going to navigate life with these new profound values. Do you have anything that comes to mind?
Oh, that was really interesting. Do I have anything that comes to mind? Yeah, I mean, mine probably came from a different direction, but I felt very in the void the week after hitting 100k subs. It's like, now what? Like, the goal has moved. Like, I feel goalless. I feel like it was all the expectations I put on myself by the time I got to that point. It was like, oh, cool. So now I've woken up and I have 100k subs, which means I am completely emotionally fine. I'm completely earning enough money. I can have whatever life I want, and I've got like everyone around me. I can bring all of them up. I can buy all my friends' houses. I can do it. And then you're like, hang on a second. Like, I barely pay my own rent here. Like, what's gone wrong? And that feeling is very disconcerting, because you just don't know. Like, that was in your head, every goal, everything had always led to that point, and that was when everything, like, that's when the pressure was going to be taken off. It's like, oh, I can breathe now slightly. It's like, well, I can't breathe financially. I'm still the same person I was before. How do I like, what happens now?
Yeah, you're navigating with a completely new lens, because maybe the expectations you thought you would have been shattered.
Yeah, so that was like my void.
Yeah, no, I like it. It leads us very well onto the prompt. So growth often feels like losing yourself before finding yourself. So before clarity arrives, identity dissolves. So there's almost a bit of grieving that needs to happen before embracing the new version of yourself. And it's got here as well. Old motivations stop working, familiar goals seem hollow, which I suppose is similar to what you were describing with your transition from 100k to, wow, okay, I'm here. Well, this is what life's like on the other side. You know, the familiar goals probably seem a little bit hollow now. Moving towards it's quite tough. So why does growth need to feel like losing yourself before finding yourself? Why is that such a profound experience one must go to when they are growing? So it seems like quite a sad thing to have to go through.
I think it's the contrast between expectation and reality. And I suppose the content you see around people hitting these great milestones is all very much glorified. It's never like nobody's ever crying because they've hit 100k subs. Like nobody's upset about that. Like if anything, they're happy. And it's but what you don't see is as soon as that camera's off, it's like that isn't a continued, long-lasting, lifelong moment of happiness. It's I achieved a goal, and then the camera goes off, and it's like, what now?
So layers have been stripped away.
Yeah, and it's when you're in that reality, and I'm doing it in the context of YouTube just because that's my life, but it can be anything. It could be like, okay, as soon as I achieve 90 kilograms in toned muscle mass on my body, I will be very happy with the way I look, and everything will be fine because I'll be able to talk to whoever I want. I'll have an extra confidence when I walk in a room. And then you might achieve it, and you might be like, okay, well, I don't feel any more confident. Do I have more muscle? Yes. But has anything other than that in my life changed? No.
Yeah, so it's like the shedding of old identities, really, isn't it? Because it breaks the fourth wall. It allows you to see beyond what was already an arbitrary, or not arbitrary, but it was a value, a way to navigate life. But because you're shedding it away, you're realizing, oh, wow, this is who I am on the other side. So you're shedding away habits, identities. The comfort is going to feel like a painful loss because you no longer have it. You know, you no longer have that ambition. The values are slightly different. But I suppose it's the necessary unraveling to make space for stronger, truer selves to emerge. It'll create more freedom for you, a new path to explore, but that has to come from the emptiness. I suppose that's the losing yourself. So growth will feel like loss because you're shedding those old layers, but you're also unburdening yourself. And if you've attached identity to this person that is burdened by the trauma they experienced as a child, or maybe a catastrophe they experienced, a natural disaster, all these burdens they've been carrying on their shoulders, if you unburden them, get rid of them, clear out the clutter, or you unlearn the thought patterns that are going around in your head, that is going to create a void. That is feel like you are going to lose a version of yourself that helped you navigate the world. Like I give you for instance, in my personal life, was when I stopped self-harming, I almost felt like I lost a version of myself because that was the person, the identity that I used to navigate life for so long. I said, whoa, I feel like I've lost that now. Who am I? Who am I now? And in the moment, I was like, why is this such a big thing? You know, I should be happy because I've just overcome such a huge challenge. But in reality, I felt a bit lost. Oh, God, you know, who is Connor without this identity? But unburdening, unlearning those old thought patterns, embracing the void, you're going to then find yourself on the other side. And what are you going to find on the other side, do you think? Deeper sense of self?
Yeah. Deeper sense of self, more, I don't know, just more. Everything you want is on that other side. It's just, how do you navigate it? How do you navigate that void to then understand how to get from finishing the negative thing or the negative influence, overcoming that, and getting to the more positive, more reassured, more self-aware, more self-acceptant version of you?
How do you navigate that lost phase? I suppose the first step would be acknowledging the shift. You know, I feel like that's a very easy first step. Well, not easy, but it's a logical first step, is understanding that things are changing, whether that's values, a significant life event. Recognizing that that feeling of lost is a sign of evolution, not a personal flaw. That's probably where I would jump to as like a jumping off point, is navigating that lost phase. And you just got to acknowledge of the phase you're in. And you've got to look without judgment on yourself as well. Because if you start judging that, then you're probably going to set yourself back. Next, what would you do next? I would create space for introspection. But that's very me. You know, I would go very inwards. If I was feeling lost, okay, I'll start journaling, I'll start meditating, I'll start listening as authentically to myself as possible. You know, I've told you before, I get extremely busy. I make myself extremely busy when I've got something that's wrong. So I'd need to create that space and time for reflection before my body burns me out and I'm sick from work. And then that's when I have the epiphany that I want to leave my job.
Yeah.
So creating space for the introspection would be what I would do next.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I'm similar, but obviously go about it my own way. I have this underlying problem in my life, which is I must be making progress towards something. That is the absolute, that's a non-negotiable.